But if you pulse it, it's like it softens it, more comfortable, but it's still very good at moving edema, combating muscle spasm. In the world of wound healing, really got its claim to fame actually in wound healing dating 20 years ago.
That's why the parameters are close. That's why you don't do it.
But that is very popular with chronic pain and muscle spasm, and like I say, moving edema.
So what would be the difference in setting up the electrodes between,
Nope.
for like a Russian or a high volt between the bipolar?
Nothing really, unless again you read the
Now,
article
that
that
being
said
said, I always
negative
go by,
versus
you know,
positive
how what
polarities when it comes to high volts, mainly with again a wound care driven protocol that says, you know, the red, the black, or the cathode or the anode should be placed here for the first couple of treatments, and then you reverse polarity for the next treatment.
You're making faces like you ate something sour.
So still use just the two electrodes?
Yeah. Quad polar, again, by definition, is the only one that uses 4 electrodes by design. Everything else is 2. Now you can set up 2 concurrent treatments. Okay, I can set a bipolar application. They're not doing it. I set up 2 here, and on the other side, maybe it's some bilateral thing. I set up 2 here, set up 2 here. Just a concurrent treatment, not an integrated treatment.
Is that box capable of doing all the waveform?
Oh, sure. They're all listed right here. Quad polar interferential, pre-mod, Russian, high volt, microcurrent. There is a waveform that's not here. There's 2 of them actually. But again, it's partly because of packaging and marketing. But biphasic is not here, which is the most common one when you'd see in a TENS unit. Asymmetrical biphasic. It's not here, but.
Okay, so we've got,
what is
less than 1.
And microcurrent. Microcurrent is tricky because the nature of the
Is anybody
microcurrent
getting more or
output
less
in
than value out
microvolts.
of it?
No.
No.
For the most part,
Why
it's
is there
subsensory.
variability?
Okay, so it's very tricky. It's really data driven, research driven.
Right, and what's
Saying,
involved?
well, we've shown that with minimal invasion into the body, which has its own kind of theoretical approach anyhow, is minimally invasive, which I think generally speaking physical therapy follows that maxim, as opposed to things like surgery. But nonetheless, a minimally invasive approach is ideal. So saying using microvolts, subsensory electrical current can start to almost rewire the brain. Okay. So for example, there's even the so-called alpha TENS out there. This is a microcurrent. The idea is that you're actually setting electrodes on the earlobes and somehow sending a message through the brain, kind of rewiring the patterns and its own natural reception to pain. Okay?
The TENS unit uses the microcurrent.
No, well, actually some do. There's a phrase out there called microcurrent TENS. It's another way of approaching, again, TENS just means trans-electrical nerve stimulation. Okay, so there's different waveforms that can accomplish the same thing. The most popular waveform for TENS is biphasic, asymmetrical biphasic waveform. Okay, but there is also a so-called microcurrent TENS unit, where some people have reported that they respond better to a subsensory delivery. It's on, well, it's right here, and it's right there, and it's right here. So microcurrent.
So that's a separate setting than the other.
Yeah, but again, quad polar is the only one with 4 pads, or both channels automatically by default, and the rest of them all just use 1 channel.
When you put the electrodes back.
So any questions about the basic applications of those? Yes, go ahead.
You said we could use high volt and differential for treating pain, but why would we use one versus the other?
Well, I would say that by default, you'd probably turn to high volt if you couldn't get 4 electrodes around the area. You would either turn to pre-mod interferential or high volt, or maybe your experience is, well, they've got some real muscle spasm going on there too.
I don't document, these numbers mean nothing.
more something involved,
I
not
don't
just
think I'll let
pain,
you
but
try it
maybe
out.
like, again, muscle spasm, or something of that nature,
Because I don't want the
or more edema, more swollen nature. Maybe you want to feel like you need to reduce that inflammation, and not just with an ice pack. You feel like the proper refill could help move inflammation out.
What about
Chronic pain. In fact, I would say that most people approach I hate to say this, but yeah, I would say most people approach microcorona as a last resort. Or because everybody's like, that patient is really sensitive to every other way for you to try.
Yeah.
Of course, you still gotta ask yourself, okay, then why are you still doing it for yeast? If they're really sensitive to
Right,
yeast,
so
then
remember
why
that
not
range
just try
is
something
70
else?
to 150.
Don't get too fixated on this step.
So you can adjust.
All right, now what's the research you guys need?
So with the people who are sensitive,
We
well,
need to practice it.
this is the electricity itself. So some people don't do electricity.
Well, let's see if
Lower back.
get some feedback on the lower
Is
back.
it the
Let's do
electricity
that.
themselves? Is it the,
Maybe we just go through questions
is it the
I'll set a partner up.
how might electrical stimulation experience change with the addition of
So if you
heat
can,
or cold
you can
simultaneously?
atomize on it, you can turn it down, and it's more tolerated, and it's in that therapeutic
Well,
range.
yeah, I mean, before I comment on that, any comment on the interaction of heat and cold with yeast?
You're sensitive, you're very sensitive about it.
Okay,
Let's
any
try
initial
this.
thoughts about, or just gut
Folks
feelings
that are
about that?
hypersensitive,
Mixing up
hypersensitive,
hot and cold
like,
treatments with yeast?
we saw
Well, if you've
one,
got inflammation, like the high volt you said, I would assume you'd put cold on to help aid that
Well,
reduction of
do you
inflammation.
need to
Is
put
that,
anything on is another question.
I don't know.
never.
Well, that's what I'm saying, just, this is a dialogue.
I could see using heat with
I've seen,
Did I get that reassurance?
I've seen
Never
people
turn
do
it on myself, I never switch any buttons by
Because
myself.
you're not concerned about inflammation.
I always hand it over. It makes a huge difference.
So heat obviously is
I don't have
certainly a
that
basic
sensitivity. So my
basic
framework
contraindication for
how
anything that's
fast I
swollen,
might
right?
turn it up, right.
Why, that's why you put an ice pack on something that's
Different,
swollen,
not
is we
well
want
tolerated,
to
and then the patient
constrict
feels
what's
something
coming into the area.
Exact, right?
To reduce
So
the
I just hand it
inflammation.
over and talk them through that.
There's remains a lot of arguments out there in the
Is
field
there no
about why
physical
people are
benefit
doing
if you turn it
mixing
down
it
to
up.
20?
It's a very good question.
Personally, I
That is
don't like to see a lot of mix up because it muddies the
So
waters
what
about
is
what's
the-
really contributing to the
This is the
process,
stuff that
to the
they
healing
use.
process.
And remember, when you look at research
Okay.
and age
Then the
matching,
question comes in, well, what should I do right before or right after
a
stim?
reproducible therapeutic
It still depends on what your
And then it's going either as the curve.
objective was.
So,
And your
the
concern.
goal is for pain management, the goal is for them to have sensory analgesia. So if you've gone with what works, and it's not working,
okay, so
you can go outside the box safely.
And then the next question is how does the
There's no harm in it.
IFC
And is there therapeutic value in it?
treating pain? You know,
that's the same value
And you'll have
as
to
the
be
last.
very
let
transparent
me
about
let
it.
me know when you get to the
So
fast vibration.
when
I'm
I
trying
do
to
that
answer
with
that
my
question.
patients, I say, this is not
Turns
sensitive
off on
to
the
the
feedback.
but your
Well, let me know when the vibration gets really fast.
basic
Strong, but comfortable pain.
Now, let me know when it starts to get
So
painful.
because you're presenting it,
Interfering
I'm gonna approach
highly,
this.
This is actually
highly
how I do it with my
localized.
first
So
And then you
there's no
ramp them
physician
down
who
a
will tell you
You're
that
highly
it's wrong.
focusing on
But
that
I know from
area
another
right
way,
there.
circulation,
uncomfortable.
getting
Whereas
sensitive.
10 unit is more like chronic.
No, like it's an uncomfortable sensation. It should be, the idea behind IFC should be
So we're
comfortable.
just gonna take you and assume that, you know, if everybody else is 70
We'll just put it there.
you're the 20 to 70.
Then you start it.
And you're down here. And that's
So you were 16
you did an exercise.
Oh, that was on
You said 10.
Well, it's the same numbers, that's what I mean, it's the same numbers.
You know?
Well, see, but the thing that you'll learn is that from machine to machine, I can set the same person up who's in the same, exact same IFC machine 2 days in a row and have
Yeah.
different number of applications with the electrodes in the exact same spots.
Depending on the day then.
Yeah, it depends on the day, and it'll be very dependent on your machine. Because you can use 2 different machines on the same patient, and say this Rich Mark says 17. Say I got our really nice one that Joe condescended to buy.
A different brand of machine? Or
Different
just a
machine,
different
awesome machine. It's pretty much our idiot-proof machine, which is why we train all our new aides on. It really, I mean, it tells you everything the coach to. It's an amazing machine. You can read on display. You put them on that same machine and turn it up, they can get a totally different intensity on that machine than they were on this Rich Mark.
But how about if you use the same model?
Still get different.
It's still
Still
gonna vary a
different.
little bit, not only because physiologically, right, we all feel a little bit different every day. Our sensitivity's a little bit different every day. The electrodes have changed. The gel interface on the electrodes has changed a little bit. That'll affect the current.
Hertz, right?
Cycles per, well, yeah. Well, no, intensity is its intensity. Don't worry about that. It's just volume. But
Well, it's okay. He was just asking a question. I just write. You're right. I don't even know. Well,
what's your question? Where are you?
well, just ask how high was the intensity, and he
There
was
you go.
asking if there's a
Just put
specific.
17.
It's
That
just
doesn't matter.
17.
The optimal would be 120.